good, and welcome to Breaks and Lakes. I'm Derek, and right now I'm sitting down with the man behind Filling the Breaks and everything zany and wacky in the world, Ecid. What's good, sir?
Hello. Hello.
So, right now we are backstage right before your Pheromone Heavy release show at the Triple Rock.
Yes.
And, this album here has been a work in progress for quite some time. How long has this actually been put into play, man?
About 2 years. It took me about 2 years to make it, yep.
Okay.
Just kind of between, like, touring and having to, like, just kind of be patient with mixing and different kinds of things. It took about that long to finish it, and just kind of writing the right songs. The post-Euphoria material was basically songs that I was making while I was making this, and kind of like ones that I knew didn't fit with the like concept of what this record is supposed to convey. Okay. So,
all right. So as a record itself, it is a conceptual thing where you really just kind of dive into, just coming of age kind of.
Yes.
In a sense.
Yes.
Why don't you tell us about how that really came about?
I think because I feel like I never properly did that. I kind of like my very first like album that I count, Biograffiti, was kind of an autobiographical album, but I feel like it was, I don't know, it just so long ago that I felt like I never properly made a record that kind of represented me as not only me as a human, but like kind of me moving forward and as a lover and a fighter and like all my sides more.
Right.
But at the end of the day, it's really just the whole record is about, coming to terms with the things that you can control and can't control about your present and past. And, like number one on a hit list is it's a song that's like basically a love song to my dog, but in a patronizing way. Right. They're all things that I love him to death, and I can't control it. So a lot of these things, like, Never Been to France is that, you love a girl so much you can't control it. Like, it's a lot of that pheromone, like, things that are just, we're like, I don't know why I did it, but I did it. I don't know why, I...
Put your hand down her pants and tennis.
Yeah, but, exactly. It's like a lot of that.
Okay, give it to that. But, going along the list of, things that are a little scary, I'm a sucker. You do mention that you are a fan of Twilight.
I am not. It's a joke. But yes, I've watched the Twilight movies because of a girlfriend. They are the most hilariously bad movies of all time. Like, I actually, man, like, I fucking want to, like, do, like, one of those, like, you dub over it and, like, like, oh my god, like, do like a whole like redubbing of the whole movie, like
that's gonna be your next project.
Yeah,
just go in there, just like, all right, I don't really care about this.
But it's just that song is just about like I'm an absolute sucker for women, and I just so trying to empathize with other dudes like that or girls like that love girls, whatever, right. Where you just kind of. Okay, all right, sure, I'll do that. Yeah, even though you don't like it, whatever.
You go with it just because you want to get some.
Yeah, so, sure.
Yeah. Or
just be a good dude, or a good lover.
Lover.
You say lover.
That's a good term.
A good lover. Yep.
All right. Going along that same song, the second verse, you really kind of dive into, everything you're willing to go through, the fights, the hoops, and everything.
Yep.
And as I was listening to that, I'm starting to think. This may actually say a lot about how your character has evolved over the years.
Yeah.
Into, something that's a little bit larger than life. Like, how did that process really come into play?
I think just making so many songs where you just stop giving a fuck about offending anyone or yourself or, like, you just, like, for me, my creative voice has, like, taken over so much that I just go to this place and, like, I tap into something and it just... and so I follow it, like I wait till I can hop on the train, and then once I'm on the train, I'm just like, all right, where are we going? Sweet, we're going here, we're gonna go there, all right, fuck it, like it's fun that way.
Okay.
It's really fun that way.
Have you ever found that kind of ruins or not ruins, it comes in contrast with your real self, like, as a person? Have you found, like,
Not
reality
really.
and stage have kind of, like, clashed?
Not so much yet, especially now because like the lyrics on this are so much more direct and true to life. You know, where lyrics earlier on were more abstract and kind of, you know, I think that stuff actually, like I have a song called Happy Mother's Day that was part of a record that was like a whole concept about like a guy, basically the process of becoming a mass murderer. It was called Red Berettas, the album, and there's some people that know about it. And that song was about the character discovering that his grandfather is his father, and his sister is his mother. Like he thinks his sister is his sister his whole life, and finds out it's his mom, and he kills her. And so that song was like, a lot of people at that time really liked that song. It's a good song. Yeah. But I think that they thought like that was me. And so I've really tried to start to at least steer away from that. I let my artistic thing go where I want to go. And sometimes I'll play a character like on, what's another one that's like a definite, you know, even like,
Running from Cops?
Yeah, Running from the Cops is kind of, it is that. And there's a lot of true to life shit in there though too, because we did take a U-turn in Mexico and stuff like that, you know, but there's some, you know, some real nuggets in there, and then there's some other things in there because what the song is trying to convey, you know, I'm trying to kind of ramp it up for that, but yeah, I think that says it.
I'd say so. Of course, you just got back from South by Southwest. How was that whole experience? Last year?
It was exhausting, as it always is. It's always exhausting, but it's always awesome too. You know, like I see friends from all over the place, and even friends here that we don't get to hang out all the time because we're all so busy. So we're all kind of in this. We're all like, "Yep, we're at South by again. Let's get drunk," you know, and you end up at parties with free booze, and that's cool.
That's very cool.
Yeah, you know, or you just end up at really unique places, you know, like there was a yoga studio that a friend of mine was doing an instrumental set at, a couple friends, and that was really cool. I did a showcase for Crush Kill Recordings, which was Idea's pet label that he started. Me and Carnage, Seize Mics, Slot Musket, Sammy Warmhands all played that. So it was kind of all kind of people that have kind of been in the family tree of that. All came down to play that, and that was really awesome. That was my highlight of South by for sure.
One thing that really stood out to me on this record in particular was just the meticulous finds and samples that you worked into this. Like, how many samples did you actually put into the whole thing?
Well, there's live guitar, there's live keyboards from all kinds of different areas, and then there's samples on, like Counterfeit Dreams started with samples, and then I ripped them away. The only sample left is like the ba 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 ba, like the vocal sample thing. And Never Been to France definitely has some. There's like samples from like a punk rock record on it, and Running from the Cops was built off of like a vocal sample, but then we just added, you know, I've like found sounds on it. Like there's literally like I made a loop out of like clacking shoes together, and there's like every track has like different. There's definitely a lot of there's a lot that went into it. And then there's a section, I mean, like Vinyasa Flow, Fuck a Car, We Teleport, Don't Want to Know, Hazy, 3633. They don't have any samples in those. New Life doesn't either. But then Better Off, Pheromone Heavy, Monopolized, Number One on a Hit List, those all kind of are built off samples. And there's kind of like a reason for that too, you know, because I wanted like the beginning of the record is anchored by kind of, you know, there's like tracks that have samples, and it's like my roots, and then in the middle of it, it's kind of like I'm on this new shit, I'm out here like kind of, you know, living like it kind of is like more amped up, and then it kind of gets back to the roots where it ends with a lot of sample based stuff on purpose. You know, I kind of wanted to anchor it where it was like it was bookended by it, and you know, in the middle it's all futuristic.
Okay, so kind of like a natural progression as you're going.
Yeah, kind of like figuring out, because that was the thing about this record, was figuring out how to get my influences from not only like rock music, but from like beat music, like electronic beat music kind of stuff. Be able to like mix that with sampling and kind of my live found sound looping stuff too, and just kind of putting it all together.
Oh, that's fair.
Yeah.
I was very impressed, so I just got to mention that.
Of rappers getting cloned and still slept on. Fuck it all, we done it all without $1 million.
The moment on Don't Want to Know where you were talking about how the world is kind of like, you know, turned to shit. Mm-hmm. And you're talking about watching so much documentaries that you may feel like you're addicted to negative energy.
Yeah.
Do you feel like the world itself is addicted to such negative energy, especially with like watching the news and just all sorts of shit on movies and whatnot?
Oh yeah, all the negative shit people say on Twitter and just all that. People out, like, it's I don't know what it is. It must be human nature to kind of go there, you know. And I think it's just years of the media always showing a certain side of certain things, and kind of it's trained us to think in a more negative way on certain topics. And unfortunately, it's just, there's so much negative shit out there all the time. And even, I mean, documentaries that they have a good meaning behind them, but like, I don't know, there's always that thing, like, part of why I made that song is because the people, and it's always people with privilege that say it too, that go, oh, I just can't watch that stuff. I just can't do it. But it's like, but you're missing why it's important to know about that stuff. Be fucking informed and know about all this shit that's going on out there, because if you don't, that's how you become very ignorant, and you lose you have tunnel vision, and you might think your life is great, but like other people don't have it great. And I don't know, I think as humans moving forward, we kind of got to think about each other a little bit more, you
Absolutely.
know, not to get all fucking John Lennon on the world, but it's just,
it's actually just thinking that,
you know, it's kind of, we're hitting a tipping point where like there's just so much like just with the polar ice caps melting and things that we've got to we got to stop worrying about like how much Coca-Cola is getting distributed. Like, we're gonna run out of water,
right?
You know?
Yeah, it's getting bullshit,
because they can't turn salt water. The process creates so much waste that it's not worth it. Or it's not even that it's not worth it. It's just that if they were taking salt water and turning it into regular water, all this waste, where would it go? You know, so you're just creating, and it's not efficient. Maybe they'll figure it out, but yeah, it's rabbit hole. It's a rabbit hole, man. I just can't watch it. I just can't. No, fuck that. Like, get fucking informed, people. Give a fuck. That's what I'm saying.
Perfect.
You know,
PSA right there. Ecid says, give a fuck.
That's how I feel about it, and that's how I feel about art too. Like we were talking about the songs before. Like, sometimes I will take on a persona of a certain thing to point out how ridiculous it is, you know, and that's a responsibility as an artist, is to bring to life things that might be not getting, you know, there might not be articles about it or news, you know, segments about a certain thing that's happening.
Take a bullet from my favorite rapper, but I probably wouldn't take a bullet for the president. No matter how dead he is or how many digits he represents, he will never represent what I represent. I would take a bullet from my favorite rapper, but I probably wouldn't take a bullet for the president. No matter how dead he is or how many digits he represents, he will never represent what I represent. Represent.
What is one thing in particular that is better with a set of boobs on it?
Oh, I'm gonna go with a taco would be good with boobs on it.
Okay. That's a fair answer.
I'd say a car would be really nice with boobs on it. You know, I sit in a car a lot.
And that's right. You fuck a car and teleport.
Yeah.
Talking about